In order to obtain the best possible results from the validation process, we prepared the entire heat exchanger assembly, including the interior blower and housing, located under the dashboard of the car's cabin. The main goal is to visually evaluate the product. To do this, we accurately measure the evaporator and compare it to the technical documentation, which was developed based on the original part. The next step is to fit test and performance testing. We remove the screws and the caps. Heater is pulled out for easier access to the evaporator. Further screws are removed to take out the part of the housing where the vent flaps are located. After this, the screws located at the joints of the housing. We carefully remove the upper part of the housing so as not to break it. We pull the evaporator, remove the lugging and unscrew the two screws that hold the expansion valve. We compare the weight of the NRF product with the original one to verify the heat potential. We compare the dimensions of the connections and cores of the two evaporators and verify the compatibility and the amount of flow in the evaporator. During validation, we also check the number of tubes and fins to verify that the NRF product has the correct heat capacity. We unpack the O-rings, lubricate them with oil and mount them properly on the connections. Then we install the washer and tighten the expansion valve with a torque wrench. We remember to use enough force so as not to damage the O-rings. We put on the lugging to ensure tightness and insert the evaporator in a suitable way into the housing. We carefully assemble the upper part of the housing. When doing this, we must be careful not to damage the evaporator core and the mounting points of the housing. We make sure that the housing parts are installed correctly and tighten the screws. Then we put on the previously unscrewed part of the housing where the air flaps are located and insert the heater. To test performance and leakage, we mount the finished box on our test bench. We screw the hoses to the expansion valve and refill the system with refrigerant to the exact level suggested by the manufacturer. We turn on the test stand and follow the behavior of the air conditioning system with the NRF evaporator installed earlier. Using the pressure gauges, we track the high and low pressure in the system. Over the pressure gauges, we track the refrigerant temperatures in the system at the same time. After checking all the parameters of the evaporator, we proceed to make a validation report. After such a detailed quality control, we can be sure that our products meet the highest standards. Every day, we acquire new and used OE parts which constitute our database. This is a library with several thousand different types of products on the basis of which we can validate each reference that we intend to introduce into the offer.